Hello, my name is Jay Henriquez and I'm a real estate agent with Quiet Waters Realty Group. Today I'm really excited to share with you guys a new segment that we're starting. It's called Ask Your Realtor. Pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to come to you on a continuous basis and answer any questions that you may have. So please go ahead and drop your questions down in the comments below so that those questions can be added to the next segment. Our very first question comes from Jacob Smith in North Topsail Beach. And his question is, what is due diligence fee and what is the earnest money deposit and what's the difference between them? Very good question. So before we can get into that, let's start looking at an overview of what the contract looks like, or the time or the length of the life of the contract. It starts off when all parties sign the contract, and that's called the effective date. And it's essentially what everyone calls is under contract, when you're under contract. So that starts here. The ending, obviously, in mind, keeping that it's the closing, right? When you get to the closing table, you sign everything, it gets recorded with the county, and then it's official that it's your home. Now, sometime in between, there's a due diligence date, all right? Now, that due diligence date is very important because from the effective date, or the beginning when you're under contract, to the due diligence date, you have what's called an inspection period. Now, let's talk about the due diligence fee now that we kind of have a basis of the understanding of the life of the contract. The due diligence fee is exactly what it is. It's a fee, and it's something that you pay the seller in order to pretty much buy yourself an inspection period. So you pay this directly to the seller, and it's due on the effective date. As soon as you sign, then you got to give up that money. Now, you're paying that money in order to get your inspections done. What does that mean? To get your home inspection done, to make sure you get a termite inspection, just pretty much to do your due diligence in order for you to know if you want to continue forward purchasing that home or not. Now, the due diligence fee is something that you don't expect to get back unless you make it all the way to closing. Once you're at the closing table, it's given back to you as a credit. But if you don't make it to the closing table, then you don't get that money back if you back out of the contract. Now, the earnest money deposit, also known as the EMD, or if not, also the good faith deposit, it's you putting this money into a trust account, and it's pretty much you saying as good faith, like, hey, look, I really do plan on buying your home, so let me put this money aside for you. Now, the earnest money deposit can also be credited to you back at closing, all right, if you make it all the way. But the earnest money deposit gives you a little bit of security, as in, if you back out of the contract and you say, you know what, after the inspection period, I do not want to purchase this home, and you back out before the due diligence date, then you get your earnest money deposit back. You won't get your due diligence fee back, but you will get your earnest money deposit. And like I said before, if you make it all the way to closing, you can get that back as a credit as well towards your closing costs. Now, the difference between them, we kind of hit on that already, right? The due diligence fee, you don't expect to get that back if you back out. The earnest money, you can if you make it, prior to the due diligence date. Now, the reason why this trips a lot of people up is because in other states, you don't have a due diligence fee. So in other states, you won't put any money down at all, and you'll be able to do your inspection period, and then is when, the contract is taken to closing and everything else falls in line. So, very good question, Jacob Smith, and we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content.